What up guys, SuperMetal983 here to bring you another album review, and this one we're going to be reviewing is the new Illusions EP, which is also their debut EP, which is self-titled. Now, if you don't know who Illusions are, they are a UK-based kind of djenty, down-tempo-y kind of metalcore bands that obviously that style of metalcore started to flourish a little bit over the past couple of years. Not so much the down-tempo, djent sort of style, but that kind of combination of it's like a djenty tone with metalcore songwriting, but down-tuned and on the ear strings and all that sort of stuff. It's been flourishing a lot over the past couple of years. But anyway, but these guys, they've been going around a couple of years now, and this is their debut release, and I've been so looking forward to this release, especially with the release of their debut single. I was just hooked on straight away, and I contacted the guys if they were interested in me reviewing their EP before its release, and here we are today. Now, this EP is quite a short one. It's only around 19-20 minutes in length, but in that short space of time, what you get is a riff-heavy, emotion-filled and powerful, punchy release. And this is something that you all need to hear if you want something groovy, heavy, gritty, and also very catchy at the same time. Now, as I said, that the whole djenty down-tempo sort of style has obviously been going around for quite a while, but it's not really became a style as much as more a characteristic at the time. But it's now started to flourish with bands like Void of Vision, After the Burial, Structures, even for just an example of a couple of bands in that sort of spectrum of things. But Illusions' debut EP is definitely a very catchy release, but it still has, for all it's got that djenty tone, which is a very high-end sort of oriented tone, you would expect like that to lose a lot of heaviness, but you don't lose any heaviness with this album. It's still EP. It's very punchy. It's very heavy to an extent. It definitely, when the breakdowns hit, they hit hard with those lower notes chugging away, and the emotion-filled vocals over top. It definitely creates a lot of impact and punch to it, is what you need, especially in my opinion when it comes to the djenty sort of tone. You have to have at least some beef and chunky tone behind it as well, just to amp it up. Like, the djentiness obviously gives it a bit more clarity and gives it a bit of character, but it still has to, in my opinion, have a bit of impactfulness behind the production, and this one definitely has that in value, if you ask me. I have to say though, this is definitely started the year with, I believe this is my first EP that I've checked out in 2018. I could be wrong on that, but this one's definitely going to be up there as being one of the favourites of the year, because it definitely has a lot more going for it than, in all honesty, that I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a lot of much, because I wasn't really into metalcore sort of stuff or this sort of style. But as the past year has progressed since I first heard the single, I've really come at home with that sort of style, and this release is definitely a very, very solid one. I have to say there is some really fucking strong tracks on this release. The second track, which is after the intro, which is called WDIGW. WDIGW, yeah, that's right. Where Did I Go Wrong is what it's also called. That song, perfect start to the release. It's powerful, punchy, it sets up the pace straight away, literally from the get-go, and you're just like, yeah, this is going to be an absolutely solid release. And it continues into Blood Runs Cold, another great, well, all the songs on this release are solid, if you ask me. Blood Runs Cold, White Noise, Dreamwalker, the last track, Withered, is an excellent closer to the release. But I have to say, though, sixth track, which is called Afflicted, which features Alec McKinnon, I believe that's how it's pronounced, of Carbine. I didn't know there was a guest spot on this release, but then I was listening away one day when I was out and about, like the first listen, and I came to that song, and I listened to it, and I was like, I recognise that voice from somewhere, and it took us a while to click on, and I was like, I inboxed the guy straight away, I was like, is that Alex from Carbine by any chance on the 6th song? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, nailed it. Yeah, dab, whatever. But yeah, honestly, if you haven't checked out the, sorry, if you haven't checked out because it's not released just yet, but you need to check out this release when it drops. If you like heavy stuff, like, heavy, groovy, djenty, kind of down-tempo kind of stuff, you'll find something in those spectrums. You will find something to like about this release. If you like Void of Vision, as I said before, Structures, or what did I say? After the Burial, or even Vildhjarta. Definitely a lot of Vildhjarta, I feel, in this release. Focus, you stupid camera. You gonna focus? There we go. But yeah, if you're a fan of Vildhjarta, Structures, After the Burial, or Void of Vision, you will find something to like about these guys. This is a solid release. Top quality production. Short but sweet, if you ask me. And definitely something you need to check out when it drops later on this month. So yeah, make sure you check out Void of Vision. Illusion's debut EP, which is self-titled. For overall score though, I'm going to give this another solid 8 out of 10. Exactly the same for the last release, but that's how it's going to work. But yeah, make sure you check out this release. It's sick as fuck and so enjoyable to listen to. And it packs a punch, definitely. If you're into your djenty, down-tempo metalcore stuff, definitely check this out. But yeah, I'll see you until the next video. And remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.